Fronting. Fronting. Fronting is another form of emphasis. It's a little bit easier to do than some of the other forms of inversion or emphasis. So first of all, when I think of fronting, I think of this guy, Yoda, from the Star Wars film series. Whenever he speaks, he always changes his word order. For example, when he's talking to Luke Skywalker, he'll say, "Train you must," whereas normally we would say, "You must train." So Yoda is a good example. If you want to hear some examples of fronting, just watch a Star Wars film. Now, let's have a look at a few sentences here. Now, these have not been fronted. You can tell that they haven't been fronted because you have the subject at the front, basically. So there's your subject and there's your verb next to it. So we'll just put an S and a V, subject and verb. Now, let's quickly front this one, and we will change it. We'll use a different color blue to do that. So let's put the adverbial here at the front. So just in time, he caught the ball. So straight away you can see where the emphasis has moved, and the emphasis has moved to just in time, and the subject has moved into second place here. So the emphasized part was simply snapped off or taken off and placed at the front. There's no other changes to the structure at all, because you can see he caught the ball is here, he caught the ball. Just snap it off, put it in front. That's why fronting is fairly easy. Let's do another one. I might also point out, in fact I should point out, that these are adverbials. These two examples are adverbials. Because just in time is a collection of words, a group of words, a phrase functioning like an adverb, so we call that an adverbial. And then we have another one here, generally speaking, so two words functioning like an adverb, so it's an adverbial. So they are both adverbials. Now let's just quickly front this one. So we'll actually start with wrong color, so we will start with the generally speaking, of course. Generally speaking, and then we will, well, there you could possibly put a comma here if you wanted, but we won't in this occasion. So generally speaking, Paul likes cheese. Alright, so as you can see, they're pretty simple, and we'll move quickly now to look at the rest. So here is a couple more examples. In this case, we're not fronting an adverbial in these cases, and that's why I'm showing them to you. We're fronting something different. So what we've actually got here is a preposition phrase. Preposition phrase. And plus a verb. So let's see what happens when we front them. So this becomes over the building. Leapt Superman. Okay. Superman is actually a proper noun, so it gets a capital S, and leapt is just the past tense of leap, and leap is just another word for jump, really. So let's have a look at what happened, and we have a fronted section here over the building. So you have your preposition here, which is over, so it's a preposition phrase, then it's followed by the verb. So the subject in this case will end up all the way at the end. So that's your subject. Put a little S there for subject. Okay. Let's do one more where we take a preposition phrase. You can probably already see what we're going to do. So it's under the table. Here under is your preposition. Under the table, crawled, and that's your verb, the dog. So when you have a preposition phrase plus a verb, your subject actually moves all the way to the end. Okay, and the emphasized part, I guess you could say, is the preposition phrase but plus the verb. But anyway, that's a detail that I don't think really matters. Now let's go to another form. In this case we have a complement. So here's unbelievable. Unbelievable is your complement here. Rather than having an object after the verb, we have a complement after the verb, and we will just switch that one around. Actually, I might write complement so you can see it. Okay, you can tell it's the grammatical complement because it has an E spelled with an E here, not an I. So we will quickly front that one, and it is simply okay. So it's pretty straightforward, and you must focus, and it's focus. You must. Extremely simple, and that's the kind of thing that Yoda would say. Let's go to another type, and we have, in this case, we just simply have the word this. It's very common to front with the word this in order to create emphasis. So very easy to front this one. You just say this. Sorry, wrong color. This he didn't like. Okay, and now moving to something just a little more complicated, I suppose you could say. And this is where we move the object. And I've given a particular example that is a little bit trickier, so we're going to front the object. First, it might be worth looking at where the subject is. So it's obviously she is the subject, and then you have your verb believes. Now, social change is unavoidable is a slightly trickier piece. I mean, you would think you have an object, but possibly you have a complement. So, and you obviously have another be verb here as well. So it's a bit trickier. And in this case, when you front, you will end up with this social change. She believes is unavoidable. So we just simply cut out this piece and put it at the front, and then just slide that forward. And you end up with she believes is unavoidable, which doesn't make any sense by itself because there's no object. So the object is now here. And the very last one that we're going to do is it's using may to front. So this is quite formal. So using the word may, and this will be formal. And you get a full structure like this. Unfortunate as, although you choose either one, it may seem or it may be. And then you can put whatever ending you like on the end of that. So for example, we could put unfortunate as it may seem. Poverty, for example, poverty is currently unavoidable. Alright, so fronted section there, and difficult as although it may seem or be. Positive change. With an E, positive change is possible. Okay, so there you have fronting, which is a fairly simple form of emphasis.